What's going on, guys? NBA members only. It is Friday, December 10th. We got nine games to talk about. So let's get after it. I don't have too much to say beforehand. I'm excited about breaking this slate down. Ryan and I are going to make the NFL video tomorrow. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys are going to be excited for that. We'll talk about what's been going on and what's going to happen in the future. Not much is going to change, to be quite honest. And yeah, excited to make that video with him. It's been a minute. So I'm looking forward to it. Until then, though, we got NBA to crush, and like I said, it's a good one. So let's get after it. Let me screen share this. We should be good to go. So starting off with probably the best DFS game on the slate, Sacramento and Charlotte. As far as Charlotte goes, all those guys are still out. LaMelo, Rozier, Plumlee, McDaniels, all out. Oh, wow. I didn't even see that TJ Washington is now doubtful. So that just opens up minutes, not even minutes, but just more usage for all the other guys. These guys were all strong plays to begin with. Now with Washington out, they look even better. Miles Bridges, 7,700. He's been more solid than spectacular lately, but clearly he's got upside as evidenced by the 53 he had against Atlanta. I didn't mean to click on him. You got Kelly Oubre. Continues to produce. His price is up to close to 8K, but probably where it should be given this spot, like right now. See something on Oubre. Yeah, he's still wildly in play here. I mean, his price is up, so he's not a must, but I like him here. Gordon Hayward's price is down, coming off a really good game. I like going right back there. I don't think you can get too much Charlotte exposure. And you also got Cody Martin, who is just a solid cog in the machine, playing 40-plus minutes recently. There's just so much to like about Charlotte here. And with Washington doubtful, could easily see Nick Richards play some more minutes. I mean, he's played 18 and 21. I don't think he's a guy that's ever going to like break a slate, but man, he's 3,200. And I don't mind him here like at all if you need a filler piece and you want to go heavy on this game. I could see Book Night getting even more love here. I mean, Charlotte just has a ton in play. The guys I mentioned, like Bridges, Martin, and Hayward, are all going to get a lot of love, and deservedly so. All these guys should get love, and just a matter of kind of mixing in lower owned pieces with them. As far as Sacramento goes, a couple guys from Sacramento stand out. Harrison Barnes, who only played he played 30 minutes last time out. We're used to seeing him play a little bit more. Get up spot against Charlotte, 5,400. He was productive in his return. I think he plays even more minutes here and he's more productive. I like him a lot. And then Terrence Davis, kind of worried the other shoe's going to drop on this sooner rather than later, but 4K, it's hard to find game logs like this for guys that are 4K. He's playing big minutes now as kind of the starting shoot small forward there, with Buddy Hield just getting backup minutes. So, yeah, Terrence Davis is a guy that is wildly in play in all formats. And then with Rashawn Holmes out for Charlotte, we saw Tristan Thompson play 21 minutes in the game against Orlando. Saw Alex Len play 17 minutes. I think both those guys are wildly in play. I obviously prefer the starter. Let me see one thing real quick. Looks like a lot of people are projecting Len to be the starter. Lionstar has him projected similarly with Thompson a little bit higher. So we'll have to wait and see who the starters. That's the guy I like. So Davis Barnes, the starter there. I don't mind Fox at 7,900. I mean, his price is now down. This reminds me of Brandon Ingram a little bit. Like, not having the greatest year, but any given game, Fox has 50-plus upside, and he's under 8K now for the first time in a minute. I don't like stacking on 9-game slates. I think it's a foolish move because there's so many games. You need this game to go absolutely ape shit. But this game could go absolutely apeshit. I mean, you got Sacramento against Charlotte, two fast-paced teams that don't play defense. Davion Mitchell played 24 minutes last time out. Like, all these guys are in play. I think you can do like a full game stack of this. We'll get back there when I build a little bit, but all these guys are in play for me. This game circled for sure. It'll get ownership, but there's ways to get different within it. Dallas and Indiana. This is not a game I'm going to have too much interest in, to be quite honest. Luka's in. He's 11K. And I never mind playing Luka, but he's not a priority for me here. Porzingis is 8K. He's not a priority for me here. None of the other Dallas guys I'm really looking to play on big slates like this when those guys are in. So no thanks there. And then as far as Indiana goes, they're more or less healthy. Obviously, McConnell and Holiday are out, but what's that really doing? I mean, LeVert is fine. I don't really love the upside there, but at 5,800, you could do worse. Sabonis at 97. He's actually in good form right now, so I don't think he's a bad play, especially if you're playing Luka. Miles Turner's fine. O'Shea Brissett is also fine at completely different price points, depending on what you want and need. Yeah, none of this whole game is full of guys that I could play but aren't priorities for me. Brooklyn and Atlanta. This should be a good game from a real life perspective. As far as Atlanta goes, I don't know. Trae Young at 10K. He is playing good ball right now. So I just talked about Sabonis. I'd rather play Trae Young, get up spot against Brooklyn. I think that he's definitely, he's by far the top piece of Atlanta. He's not a priority here, but he's the only guy I could really see going out of my way to get. Capella, okay, if you want to take a risk there. The other guys, though, I know Bogdanovich is out, but with Reddish in tonight, I just think that takes away from like the Herders and TLCs of the world. It's too much for me to want to go there on a big slate like this. And then as far as Brooklyn goes, obviously we saw Chalk Harden. He wasn't great in Houston. He's 11-2. KD is 10-8. No thanks on those guys. James Johnson I could play, though. I mean, he wasn't great in that Houston game, but had been really productive in the couple games before that. He's still 3,600. I don't mind him as a value play at all. Could do worse. That's definitely for sure. Again, it's hard to prioritize guys like this on slates this big, but at 3,600, if he gets you that 25, it's a nice plus. Knicks and Raptors. So as far as the Raptors go, OG's out. We know Ken Birch is out. Precious is questionable. 1 second, guys. All right, sorry about that, guys. I am back with you. Precious is questionable. He did not play last game. If he's in, he's fine. He actually, been playing decent recently. I think he's fine here. But if he's out, I think we go back to our boy Chris Boucher at 4K. Wasn't amazing last time out. Didn't play a ton, but man, he's just productive when he's out there. That's like that's not his floor, but that's not his ceiling either at all. I mean, he's got 10x upside at 4K, depending on how many minutes he plays, how well he's playing, etc. If he's starting, I think you just lock him in. Siakam's the guy I'm interested in. Especially if Precious is out, you see the minutes. He's a more solid than spectacular superstar, but I just like his game. He doesn't get a ton of blocks or steals, but you get games where he does, and if you can match those games with the games that he's scoring and rebounding, you got big upside. If Precious is out, the rebound opportunities just are more there for him. So he's my second favorite piece of Toronto if Precious is out. I don't think Scotty Barnes is crazy. I like Siakam more, but he's a little bit cheaper. Van Vliet is also in play. I also prefer Siakam, though. So Siakam's my favorite of that bunch with Chris Boucher, as the value piece. And then as far as the Knicks go, the Knicks are a tough nut to crack right now. I mean, they continue to just be very inconsistent. Randall is never a bad play, but at 9,400 on this slate, it's not the worst spot, but it's also not the best spot either. Burks has certainly cooled down. I mean, Obi Toppin's getting decent run, but are we really trusting that? I'm not. Mitchell Robinson had one really good game and then one awful game. Sounds about right. I don't know. I mean, the Knicks just aren't really doing it for me right now. The guys are priced as they should be, and there's just other better plays on the slate. Siakam and Boucher, my favorite pieces of this game. Next up, Milwaukee and Houston. Houston, all of a sudden, winners of 7 in a row. So, while this game looks like it's going to be an automatic blowout, I mean, not so fast. Houston, and in their winning streak, they have played, let's check it out with Jason Tate, who's played everyone in here. The Bulls, the Hornets, the Thunder twice, the Magic, the Pelicans, the Nets. So not like the greatest teams in the world, but they beat the Nets, I know, without KD, but still they beat the Nets. They beat the Pels and the Magic, who aren't good, the Thunder, who aren't good, the Hornets, who are decent, and the Bulls, who are real good at full strength. So I'm going to give the Rockets some props here. And as far as they go from a DFS perspective, it's the age-old question with them. Can they keep this game close? They've kept a bunch of games close recently. If they do, I imagine Christian Wood balls here. Priced down a little bit at 9,300. You got Armani Brooks, who might start again at 4K. He also might not because of the matchup here. You got big guys inside from Milwaukee. And I imagine Daniel Theis goes back in the starting lineup. If he does, I don't really like him, even though at 3K starting, you could do worse. Sengun's more in play, though, because if Theis is starting, I think Sengun gets a little bit more run. Jason Tate at 6,900, net. Eric Gordon, no, thanks, not here. It's really Christian Wood for me, if I'm using anyone at all for Milwaukee. Garrison Matthews is fine if you need a filler and you like this game a lot. As far as Milwaukee goes, I think Giannis is fine. I mean, bounce back spot. I'm not going out of my way to spend. Well, he's very affordable at 10.9, so that makes some sense in that regard, but still not like an absolute priority for me. Drew Holiday looks solid, 7,900, playing the most minutes of anyone on the team. I can get on board with that. I don't think he's anything close to a must with Giannis in, but all the Milwaukee guys' prices are down. So I think they all kind of work if you want exposure to this game. And the other guy I was kind of looking at as a flyer was Boogie. Depending on what you think happens in this game. If Milwaukee can roll here, Cousins could be in line for big mock-up duty. He's already playing decent minutes anyways, which always helps. So worth monitoring. I want to check from Sacramento. I forgot to check about Bagley. Ooh. Bagley played 19 minutes last time out. He's played 20 and 19 his past 2. Yeah, another piece of that game that's in play for me. Sorry. All right, next up, my Cavs at the T-Wolves. 4 games left. So this should be a game. D'Lo is not going to play. He's closer to doubtful. Probably not playing. So as far as Minnesota goes, I think Towns is fine, but a tough matchup with Mobley and Allen on him. Mostly Mobley, but man, I'm not rushing to get Cat here. Anthony Edwards is probably my favorite piece. Again, I don't really think he has massive upside, but we know he has massive upside before, but he needs to score 45 real points to hit that. Can happen, it's not going to happen a ton. The other guys were Malik Beasley, 4,100, solid look. And Patrick Beverley, who's probably going to play. He's 4,500. I prefer Beasley, but we've seen Beverley play well this year. No D'Lo. Don't mind him at all. I'm sure he's going to be on the court a lot against Garland here, so that makes some sense. As far as Garland and the Cavs go, man, they're priced down a little bit. Garland coming off another good game in which he lost run. Very affordable at 73. I've been on him a bunch this year, and I like him a lot here. Evan Mobley at 68, coming off a really nice 16-9-1, 5-block, 2-steal game. I mean, this dude's just a stud. One of the best defensive players in the league already. I'm a big fan. So, yeah, I like him a lot. And then the other guy that I've talked about a ton, I don't know why I just did that. It was an accident, is Jared All-Star. I'm going to keep saying it until I'm going to speak it into existence. Jared Allen, under 40 the past 2 games, but now his price is down a little bit. I like him a lot. None of these guys are like, I have to lock them in, but they're all in play for me. All right, now we got the Lakers and the Thunder. The Lakers are just pathetic. Which is crazy, like the Lakers. Where? Here. LeBron James is only power forward eligible. Well, yesterday he was point guard, small forward eligible. Now he's only power forward eligible. That's pretty bizarre. As far as the Thunder go first, short spread here. So, like, if you're playing some Lakers, tends to think you like Shy a little bit. Thunder won back-to-back games. Shy's played well in those games. His price is down to 82. Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing like a LeBron James, who is going to play here, Anthony Davis is questionable. So that came out just a little bit ago. If he's out, it makes you like LeBron and Westbrook a lot more. Those guys just become a lot more desirable. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. My wife just got home and I had to let the dog out of my room or else she'd start freaking. All right. So, yeah, if Davis is out, all these guys become more desirable. LeBron, Westbrook to the start. Then you got like THT, maybe a couple of the big men, Melo. We'll have to wait and see. Not like I have to go out of my way for these guys, but the AD news will be important. So if you don't want to lock in all that Charlotte-Sacramento game because of that, I get that. We've also seen plenty of times where teams like Charlotte and Sacramento play, and it's a dud because those teams suck. Well, Charlotte doesn't suck. Sacramento's playing better, but at the end of the day, neither of those teams are going to be competing for a title. I'll say that, especially with the amount of guys out for Charlotte. Detroit and New Orleans. I also think this game could be a really good game. Winnable game for both teams. I imagine the line's got to be, like, what, New Orleans -4 here is my guess. New Orleans -6, 6.5. So, I mean, New Orleans is the more talented team. Detroit is definitely struggling right now. But they took Washington to OT. They almost beat OKC the game before. I think they're due for a dub soon. New Orleans is not good. I mean, they are more talented than Detroit, but I think this game could be good. From the Pelican side, my boy B.I., he's now like kind of expensive. I mean, maybe where he should be. He's more of like an $8,500, $83 to $8,500 player. So at 87, he's fine. But in like on paper in one lineup, he's not like a priority at all. J-Val, I could easily see playing J-Val here. Again, he's now cheaper than Ingram. He's had a much better DFS season. He's averaging 41 DK points. Ingram is averaging 38. So it's close, but J-Val's averaging more, is cheaper. He should dominate inside tonight. J-Val I like a lot here. And then Josh Hart, who's projected to get a ton of love. 5K. I get it. I mean, he's a cog type. Not really buying the 8 boards, 8 assists, though. I mean, I know he's been really good recently, but at 5K, he probably won't burn you. But I also won't be surprised if he gets to 24. And then other guys in the 5K range, whether it's let's see, RJ Barrett. I'm not even saying him exactly, but just him per se, or a Jared Vanderbilt, or a Sadiq Bey in this game. any of those guys or any of the guys in that price range could, outscore Hart. And if you're giving me the field over Hart, I'll take the field. So let's just go to that price range real quick before we talk about Detroit. Just go to utility in the 5K range. So I think Josh Hart looks like the best play here. But is anyone going to be shocked if Derrick Rose has a good game, or RJ Barrett, or Bay, or Vanderbilt, like I mentioned, or THT? If what's his name is out, if Anthony Davis is out, that's the point. Another guy from the Pelicans that I wanted to discuss was Devontae Graham with Kyra Lewis out. Graham under 5K, played big minutes last game, only shot 4 of 13, but took 12 threes. I like him a lot, especially not getting nearly the love as, what's his face, Josh Hart. All right. As far as Detroit goes, Detroit reminds me of Cleveland a little bit, just on his slate. I mean, not as far as how good they are. Where these guys are all in play for me, but none are priorities. I think this could be a very competitive game. Grant's playing good ball right now. Cade Cunningham is, a little bit more inconsistent than Grant, but also has higher upside. So it's worth noting Saddiq Bey is not really playing well. I'm not interested in him that much unless you want to go on this game or a direct pivot from Josh Hart that's going to be much less owned. Isaiah Stewart's fine, but I much prefer J-Val. Obviously, much different price point, but you can only roster 2 centers max, so I doubt one of them is Stewart for me. J-Val looks like the only guy that I want to prioritize from this game, and even him, I want that Charlotte-Sacramento game more as of right now. So we got Boston and Phoenix. The big news here is that DeAndre Ayton is questionable. So if he is out, and I kind of think he's going to be out because he's missed games already. He's midday questionable, midday downgrade. Give me all the JaVale McGee, 3,400. I think that he might be a sneaky way to get away from the King centers, even though I like the King centers also. If you told me JaVale was starting, he'd be the top center play on the slate. It wouldn't even be close. So that's the guy I like the most from Phoenix. And then it also, he eats up a lot of usage. CP3 becomes a little bit more in play. Mikal Bridges. I'm trying to think about who they'll have inside. Cam Johnson. I mean, you already have Devin Booker out. It can't hurt any of these guys. Jay Crowder could play a little bit bigger. I think Phoenix is sneaky here. I don't love them, but they're sneaky. And as far as Boston goes, Jaylen Brown's out, so he's not playing anytime soon. I don't feel like. Tatum's under 10K. He's 50 plus in 5 straight. Ooh. Damn, Schroeder's out. Damn, so that came out also. Let's see if I missed anything else. Yeah, so if Schroeder's out, man, all of a sudden I like Smart and Tatum more. I think that whoever's their starting point guard is obviously in play, whether it's freaking, I mean, who knows what they do? They might start Smart at the point guard, but I don't think so. Could be a Peyton Pritchard night. He's productive when he gets minutes too. Look at what he did against the Lakers in Portland. So you got Romeo Langford. Yeah. 3K. He played 11 minutes. It opens up Boston for sure. Tatum and Smart are the 2 biggest beneficiaries for sure. I think you could probably throw Horford in the mix there. Price under 7K. I like Mobley more, but I'm sure most people do. Damn, without Brown and Schroeder, though, Smart and Tatum obviously look like really good plays. And with Ayton and Booker out, all those Phoenix guys look like potential good plays. So I think you can definitely use a lot of the Sacramento Charlotte game and then fill out from this game. So let's do a little bit of building. I'm going to assume Ayton's out. So I'm going to go with my boy JaVale. And then I'm just going to kind of go to the other game and build around that. Give me. All right, I'll leave both games up. So from Sacktown, give me Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes. Give me Miles Bridges. Give me Cody Martin. Give me Gordon Hayward. I'll put Terrence Davis here. So I have Martin, Hayward, Bridges. I think those are the top three. Barnes and Davis. And then I could go like, I mean, I don't even need that, but I don't need Tristan Thompson here, so he's my favorite point guard. I was going to say if I could get Smart and Hayward, which I can, dude, Smart and Tatum, that would be like the ultimate. I can get that, but I have money to spare. Yeah, obviously the Lakers guys too, if Davis is out. So that's it's definitely worth monitoring. Definitely another wild NBA slate. So just have to pay attention to news. If you're going to play it, stay tuned for updates and all that stuff, because it's a fool's errand to play NBA DFS and not be locked into it all night, because you're just throwing money away at that point. Just appreciate you guys. That's all I got. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Happy Friday. Let's have a great Friday night leading up into the weekend. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, holler at me. I am around. And again, Ryan and I are making the football video tomorrow. So excited for that. Thanks as always, guys.